Hi everybody, Zach here for another episode of our flagship program, The Spideydude Experience. This episode is brought to you by our loyal patrons over at patreon.com/SPIDEY-DUDE Network. Pledge today and get both early access to content on the main channel, as well as entirely exclusive content, like brand new shows and commentaries for old Spidey stuff, including commentaries for the MTV series, for example, as well as the video editions for Voices from the Eyrie Gargoyles Podcast. And our Patreon first show focused on the Krakoan era of X-Men. We also want to encourage you to check out our other programs that are all available on Audio Edition. These are all over on Spidey-Dude.com, and they're available on your favorite podcasting app. Shows like Clone Saga Chronicles, the show that started this entire network, Spectacular Radio, Spectacular Sal Buscema era podcast, Amazing Spider-Man Classics, the Slot Symposium, and the sister program on this channel, Make Mine Mayday. As always, be sure to hit the like button. It really does help us big time in the algorithm. And additionally, if you have topics you'd like to cover on a live show or in a recorded medium, make sure to leave a comment down below the description or shoot us an email at Spideydude Radio Network at gmail.com. Finally, make sure to join our community. Be alerted to all new updates by hitting that subscribe button and clicking on the bell. But to be clear, your viewership is more than enough for us. And if you want to hang out with us off YouTube, you can always go to our Discord, where we have all sorts of fun stuff, or you can join us on our social medias and follow us there. All the links are down in the description below. As always, we want to be making some references to visual aids and or live comments. If you're an audio listener, pay that no mind, but leave that 5-star review for us. Any and all feedback we will read on future episodes. Thank you, and without further ado, let's get rolling with this episode of the Spideydude Experience. And hello, everybody. Welcome to the... Well, why are we all on the side? I don't know why. Okay, here we go. There we are.
Because Neil's not here. That's why.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Spideydude Experience. I'm Zach Joyner, your friendly neighborhood webmaster of Spidey-Dude.com, executive producer of the radio network, as I just mentioned. To my left is Greg Bishansky, and below him is Adam Schingle. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello.
So we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. We will be broadcasting also on Facebook. So a bit of a minor change coming soon is the Facebook is not keeping all the old videos. So that is...
Damn it,
something.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah, so our library, if you're watching...
It's probably okay. We want people to watch it on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel.
No. It needs to come back. I need to say there. I'm going to get into a cage match with Mark Zuckerberg, and unlike Musk, I'm not going to chicken out.
Well, they've changed
I'll
their
get my
policy.
ass kicked, but
they changed their policy, and it, yeah. So that's that. So we'll talk about some. I mean, we have people on Facebook talking about how there were people on their animated series that never were on their animated series. But
yeah, let's talk about that. I'm curious what our audience's input might be on this. Did you know that after playing Trinity in the Matrix trilogy, Carrie-Anne Moss went on to do a voice on Spider-Man, the animated series? What year did Spider-Man the animated series come out in? What year did it end?
1994 to 1998.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember that. I think The Matrix came out in 1999. I remember it came out a month or so after The Phantom Menace. That could have been 1999. Was it 1989, or am I crazy?
Phantom Menace? 99.
Yeah, that's the same year Matrix came out. So I'm kind of curious because, you know, these people are superheroes, have access to all sorts of stuff. How did Carrie-Anne Moss go back in time after doing The Matrix to be in Spider-Man, the animated series? And who did she voice?
We don't know. But that was Joan Lee. So,
oh, Joan Lee and Carrie-Anne Moss were the same person? Oh. Neil's over there and he looks confused.
We have very sleepy Neil. He's taking a nap.
Yep.
Oh, I'll start over, Neil. To explain what I'm talking about, did you see that thing that John Semper posted late last week
Oh, the one where he's like, I did, what was the character? He did something.
No, it's Carrie-Anne Moss.
The Carrie-Anne Moss, that thing that he posted that he said she was on the show when she never was because
after she did The Matrix.
Yeah. Hey God, I gotta blow Neil up. Oh.
I think that's the face that we all made.
Yeah, where did they...
I got no idea what we're talking about, but okay.
Why are you here?
Respectfully. Because I want to laugh at people getting electrocuted in water.
Oh God.
I know why we're here. I'm just confused by what's going on. It's like a old man with like dementia. I know what I'm doing, but I don't know why I'm doing it.
Well, that got dark very quickly.
Well, you sound like both our previous and our current presidents, all on once for that one.
Hey, man, come on, man. That was unreasonable. Sir, it was unreasonable.
Didn't he make that point? I don't remember who made that. Oh,
I don't remember that. No, come on, man. Come on.
Twitter? That's got nothing important.
Yeah, but yeah. So Carrie-Anne Moss is a time traveler apparently, and okay. The only way we figured this out because Semper clearly wasn't wrong. She did The Matrix. She played Trinity. Then after she was done with The Matrix, she went back in time, changed to the 50s, changed her name to Joan, married Stan Lee, and then just came back to the present the old-fashioned way and voiced Madam Web.
They got married in the 30s.
Oh, in the 30s.
Yeah.
So she went back to the 30s. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Then came back to the 90s the old-fashioned way and voiced Madam Web.
So the other I guess kind of weird news that came out was the Stan Lee documentary.
You mean the grift?
Well, I don't know if it's a grift.
I'm pretty certain it's a grift.
The guy seems well-intentioned enough. I don't know.
Well, no, here's the thing.
Enough.
Okay, well-intentioned as in he waited until after the California statute of limitations was lifted.
So I don't know what to me how when I watched the clip, it did not look good. In my opinion, I got a little heat on my own personal Facebook page about it, and I'm willing to hear the person out if it's going to show that he was being mistreated and doing it in a fair way. Okay, we had already heard the rumors about this. I think there was a big cover story about Stan Lee's last days. Was it last year?
It was like I think it was on Variety. It was back when I was in college that like his family and agent had been abusing him for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The part that rubs me the wrong way is that this guy is like he's like, oh, I was Stan's confidant. I was there with him all the time, and it's like, well, you didn't stop this. You were recording all of this, and you didn't think to stop. This is like that movie with Tom Hanks where like the old man falls on the train tracks and like all the people just pull out their phones and start recording instead of doing something about it.
Yeah.
He's asking for $3, and he's been sitting on this footage for how long has Stan Lee been dead? 7 years now?
2018, November 12th, 2018.
So
we see making money off of an old man's misery is much better than helping an old man escape his misery.
And I want to bring this up is that, again, he's had access to his footage for 7 years. He's asking $300,000 for it. The rewards on the Kickstarter are you get to go see the places where he was abused, which, what the fuck?
That is one of the most coolest things I have ever heard.
And also, I made it earlier as like a sarcastic remark, but he waited till after the California statute of limitations was lifted to release this footage, which makes it feel to me like if there's something incriminating in there that could implicate him.
Zach, get him on the show and interview him.
Hey, man,
I'm dead serious.
You do a crime?
We get him on and we get Semper on. We can get a crime confession and we can get
Battle of the Grifters.
So according to the Kickstarter, they've raised $65,000 so far, as of this recording.
I believe all Kickstarters are all or nothing, if that's correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So the story is a roller coaster of drama and duplicity. Stan Lee, the final chapter, is the story of how the comic book legend Stan Lee, co-creator of the Avengers, X-Men, Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, Hulk, and Black Panther, landed in the middle of a scandal as wild as any superhero saga. The events are chronicled by filmmaker John Bolgerjack, who became an assistant to Stan and a fixture of his inner circle. He gained unprecedented access and filmed everything he saw. What he uncovered was a thriving market where Stan's signatures and memorabilia were converted into huge piles of cash, and rival hucksters double-crossed each other to control Stan's fortune. After years of collecting this footage, he's ready to share this shockingly and truly heartbreaking story with the world. But to do that, he needs your help to get it over the finish line. We hope you'll be a part of the Stan Lee and honor Stan Lee's legacy. So,
well, again, to me,
wanted
like
to honor his legacy, he should have released this a while back and made it part of the people versus whoever the individuals.
I think it was his agent, and was it his daughter who was part of it?
His daughter was part of this too. His daughter's a piece of work.
But like I said, I think he waited until after the statute of limitations was lifted in order to prevent himself from being implicated.
So they are 9 days in.
How many days left? Because it's either like 30 or 60, right?
It's 21 days to go.
Okay.
J. Scott Campbell, which he misspells Campbell's name, Roy Thomas, and others, along with Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld did an interview with Rob. It looks like
Rob Liefeld, of course. Does he show off his jeans?
Check. Okay, this is what annoys the shit out of me. Okay, check out Rob Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool. He's not the sole creator of Deadpool.
That's Kelly, and it's not Kelly, right? It was
Fabian Netzia. It's Fabian Netzia and him. Fabian was the writer. He contributed to the design. Everything that we love about Deadpool came after Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness's run.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, but so what was I?
Boo.
Okay.
I once got into a Twitter war with Rob Liefeld about a decade or so ago. I did not expect him to respond, and to a crack I made, and he did, and it was just, and I responded back, and he just kept taking the bait. He couldn't help it.
Well, and again, to me, I feel like if this guy really wanted to honor Stan and like do right by him, he would have gone to the press with this stuff. He wouldn't be going on Kickstarter asking for $300,000. I edit Zach's videos for like $5. It should not take that much to edit. It should not be
especially nowadays. Like, I mean, Final Cut Pro costs $300. Anybody can do editing on that. You know what I mean?
But again, like you could have just easily sent the raw footage to I hesitate to say the New York Times or the Washington Post, but like it would have been easy to get like an accredited publication to run this stuff. You know how much? Do you know how many people would be begging to be like getting footage? Oh, I really want the Stan Lee abuse footage. Give it to me.
TMZ would have paid top dollar for that shit. And I say that
not even ignoring the monetary incentive. There are some people who would have been like, this would have been like Pulitzer winning material. So they would have loved to get their hands on this.
I'm going to say this. Normally, I try not to point fingers at people, but anyone who contributes to this is a fucking ghoul.
I don't think anyone, like, if he's hiring if he gets like, Joe Schmuck from like Bay Area to edit the video for him, they're not a ghoul because they're just doing it for the paycheck.
No, I'm talking about people who actually contribute to the Kickstarter. And speaking of ghouls, Walter's here.
I would like a head pat. Please give me a head pat.
He appears. I believe in the Walter. Oh, nobody but me gets that joke.
That's okay.
Joe Hendry, I believe in you, buddy.
I'm sorry. I'm legitimately outraged about this thing.
Foo, Greg.
Foo, Greg.
Foo. I pity the foo.
To be,
dude, you're gonna get him to show up in a Mr. T costume next week.
God, I hope so.
No painting your face, Walter. That is not appropriate.
That's not. Oh,
how is that? It is not called the Jackpot Mobile. He wants me to call it the Jackpot Mobile, and that's not. I got a new car.
Is this like the Peter Copter from Family Guy, where it's just like your face on a car, or you know what you know how like those weirdos online like get a vinyl wrap of like an anime girl, and they put it on their car. You should do that with like the cover of Jackpot #1.
I need to get the Spidey-Dude experience like circle.
That feels too.
Like me a magnetic plate, like put it on a magnet and just stick it on my car.
I am not. I wouldn't do that. I don't want to turn my car into a cop magnet.
I need to. You see those people all the time. They put their social media on the back, on like the back end of their like a decal on the back of their car. I'm not that like self-advertising.
I don't fucking need that in my life.
Every time someone puts their logo or every time someone makes their logo or business on their like personal car, that to me always feels really weird and desperate.
Okay, it depends on the business. Like if you're an insurance agent, I can understand it, right? If you're a flower shop, I can understand it.
You have a delivery van.
Yeah, but some people use their car for the delivery van. They don't always use delivery vans. Especially if you're a small shop. Just
to me, it feels kind of weird to advertise it on your personal car.
Neil, am I going to meet up with you? I'm going to drive up there and
the Spidey-Dude mobile. Well, I'll put Spidey-Dude on our cars.
No. I have no loyalty.
More money first, Joiner.
I bow to no flag. I am part of no clan. I bow to no flag.
He's not a part of it.
Friends, you bow to.
I'm not affiliated with you.
That's fair. Even though you're on the show right now.
Yeah. It's a contractual stipulation.
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Look, I am willing to hear the guy out. If he wants to come on the show and talk, I'm willing to listen to what he has to say, and I will be fair to him.
Reading the Kickstarter comments, apparently he's just doing interviews talking about the thing and not really engaging with the Kickstarter backers. So get him on the show, Zach, and hear him out.
You don't want me on that.
By the way, I'm replacing Fireball Neil background with a new one. It will hit the jackpot. Thank you, Ashley, for the idea. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hello, Waylon Wade. Are you here to talk about some comics? So today we are talking...
No. Put your dog on the car. That way you can drive around with that big car from Dumb and Dumber.
Here's a good comic. Ultimates number 10.
I have not read. I'm going to do a binge of Ultimates, I think, later this week. And speaking of Ultimates number 11, the back of this comic.
Oh, the Solicit magazine.
No, this is the back cover of issue number 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have my physical copy yet.
I went and got. I have not been to the shop.
Oh yeah, Zach posted a very thought-provoking image.
There's my stack.
Nice.
So now that I am regularly working, I was able to make it to the comic shop. So all right, let's talk a little bit about issue 13 of Spectacular Spider-Man. Shall we?
I've got my copy right here.
I don't know why. I thought issue 14 already came out.
No. There's 13. Lucky 13.
We delayed this a couple weeks because of personal reasons, and so that's why we're
Well, I knew that, but I just for whatever reason I thought there was the 14th had already come out for some reason. I thought last issue was the 14th.
You made the call to delay it 2 weeks. because 2 weeks ago I couldn't do it. I had some personal issues come up.
Well, no,
Wasn't
Ashley had
you.
personal issues.
That
It wasn't
too.
just you, yeah. It was Ashley too.
Actually, too, which we're not going to go into.
Right. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about this issue. So we have our standard bluish, almost purpley title page. Strange Love.
Purple.
It's better than the cloud JPEG that they use for ASM.
That's true.
I don't even know what that looks like, and do I want to know what that looks like?
It's
It looks like
anything.
it looks like they gave the graphic design department a ham sandwich and told them that was their salary for the week.
I wonder what they did.
All right, so Juliet Marcos has begun mastering her transformative powers of earth, air, water, and fire as elementary. But her great powers may come at great cost. The two Electros, Francine Fry, and Max Dillon, in competition over their shared super villainous mantle, took down the Spider-Men and Elementary with an upgraded tech provided by Dr. Curtis Connors. In the aftermath, Juliet's crush, Anna, was electrocuted, perhaps fatally.
Well, okay, she didn't. That's a bit of a misnomer because she didn't get electrocuted. She walked deliberately into electrocuted water, which is very funny in like the worst way possible.
In the most macabre way, Nate. That makes
I don't think she
Neil
walked
laugh.
into it deliberately. At least that's not how I'm.
She ran outside while she was getting she saw the water get electrocuted, said, "I'm going outside," and then walked into the water. I don't know how much less deliberate you can get.
Meanwhile, hoping to free his son Billy after the Electros held him hostage for said upgraded tech, Dr. Curtis Connors recruited a dangerous ally, the Lizard? Strange Love. Chapter 6, Life and Limb. Writer is Greg Weisman. Emilio Lasso is the artist. Color artist is Edgar Delgado. Letterer is VC's Joe Caramanga. And the covers artists are the same as the creative team. Carmen Carnero and Nolan Woodward did the variant cover. All right, so we open with Peter getting fried by the Electros, Miles getting fried by the Electros, Elementary getting fried by the Electros, and then Anna, Juliet's crush, so walking outside and slipping
And getting fried by the Electros.
Now that was then. This is now. We have the Electros, which I like this splash page, by the way, saying it's time to finish this. Meanwhile, they're too busy talking to each other, and then they're going to start making.
I gotta love how cute.
God, frying bitches gets me horny.
Yeah, I love how cute and creepy it is all at the same time.
They're like, wait, is this still about us keeping the Electro name? And they're like, it doesn't even matter now. And that was how Aftershock was birthed.
Did you ever see that episode of The Tick where the Tick goes to that superhero bar and there's another guy called Barry who has the name of the Tick, and he shows up and the Tick has to fight for the right to keep his name? Now imagine that ended with them making out instead.
Yeah, that's true.
But no,
Gay?
What?
I looked at the camera, just like did the Dr. Evil stare, and I said, "Gay?"
All right. Meanwhile, the lizard
it probably
shows up.
would have gone that way had the evil midnight bomber what bombs at midnight not pulled his shenanigans, and that sounds so hilarious to say out loud. That's a great episode. Check it out.
Meanwhile, the back to the comic book issue, we have the disembodied lizard attacking the Electros and freaking biting Max's arm.
I love that.
And
How
so,
poetic.
he's like, Connors doesn't have an arm now, so now I'm going to make him just like Kurt. So basically,
I love how he treats the lizard like a Pokemon.
Kurt comes up, it's like, you don't want to lose your arm, trust me. And then like he's clutching his arm. So
I'm sure someone out there does.
What, they want to lose their arm?
Oh, there's some really sick people out there.
Okay.
it's the internet, man. They'll do anything for clout. So Anna is getting tended to by Ricky, Anna's girlfriend. Max is the coffee bean manager. He's trying to perform CPR.
He's doing a good job.
Yeah, that's very accurate CPR.
I do want to... Okay, so I want to find what Javi said about this next scene because it got me cackling at work. Let me see. Was it in the...
Yeah, I forgot
Was it in the Ultimate chat or the SDE chat?
I can't remember. So while you're looking that up, so he's performing CPR. The Spider-Men come to, and then they get a defibrillator and defibrillate her in a puddle of water.
They're all dead.
Somehow, some way, they are still alive. They got her back to normal rhythm. They got her in for transport. Max is, talking with the Spider Boys about what's going on, and they thought it was Billy Shakes, the out of work actor that they dealt with during the Arcadium, and Peter's like, no, it's Kurt's son. So they're like, wait, what about Juliet? And he's like, feed her some death by chocolate. It worked before. So
it did.
Meanwhile, we have Lizard being drugged by the arm.
Okay, here we go.
Being drugged by the arm by the lizard.
I found it. Okay. So Javi said that he was offended by the medicine, quote unquote, in Spec-Men. And Javi says you can't diagnose VFib by a pulse check unless they're the stupidest motherfuckers in New York. They wouldn't shock someone in a puddle. And my response was, Javi, if you haven't realized that Marvel civilians are the dumbest motherfuckers of all time, I don't know what to tell you. These are the same guys who beg for murder bots whenever a teenager finds out they're a mutant. So
yeah,
it's not, Javi said, like real life. So you know what? Maybe these guys aren't as unrealistic as Javi thought.
Anyway, so we have the Electros, and they're going towards Billy, and Francine's trying to threaten Kurt, and he's like, if you can control my other half, go ahead. So death by chocolate gets poured into the puddle, and she comes back to life. Freaking Anna's girlfriend yells at Juliet. Juliet is just devastated. And
her girlfriend's like, fuck off. you caused her to die.
So she then flies off in a fit of despair. So we get to this
warehouse.
We get to this warehouse, and
one of the 50 billion abandoned warehouses in Manhattan, because every
dude, I was in downtown Houston yesterday, and I there's so many abandoned warehouses down there too.
Oh, you know what? We can plot evil in them.
So the Spidey-Dude headquarters. We just film our live shows from there. We get the Yeehaw Squad in there. That sounds like a gang. Stop talking.
Yeah. So obviously Billy is not there. Connor's just cold. Connor's just cold as hell. Going, take the arm.
Well, you're a father at that point, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. So Peter then, grabs the snout of the lizard and gets Electro's arm out of there before it completely snaps. And Miles rightfully calls them out and says, "You realize we saved your arm." Like, then the lizard gets pissed off. It's a big splash page. So Anna is
wait. Continuity, because I'm not reading the current books. Doc, if Billy was missing, why didn't he come to me? Because I already betrayed you. Yeah, we should talk about that too. Am I missing something?
Probably. Wait, where is this?
I think he was talking about how he had upgraded the Electros and he betrayed him.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was how I read it.
Okay,
so
because again, I didn't know the Connors and the Lizard were separated until recently.
Oh.
Okay, so there are times when I wonder if there's shit that I'm missing from other books.
Well, have you considered reading The Amazing Juggernaut?
No.
Then don't bother.
Anyway, moving on. Let's get to the next page. So Peter tries to web up the lizard unsuccessfully.
I like the splash page.
Yeah, that's a great splash page of Miles and Peter fighting the lizard. So Max and Francine are like gonna nope out of there, and Connors is like, why are you fighting the spiders when you should be helping us find our son?
And then they shock him,
and then he gets shocked. Francine really apparently enjoyed that. So then we have the final splash page with four boxes. It says next, love is pain.
It is.
Da, da, da. Hang on. I don't know if did that play?
No, I played. We just didn't react.
Oh, all right. So next issue number 14 with a cover by Mark Bagley.
Oh, nice. He's
the covers are kind of all over the place this run. Yeah.
Yep. So this is the cover for next issue.
Oh, did you guys see that Ramos found his calling for Fantastic Four, the only place where his anatomy will ever make sense?
I guess that's the project that he's been working on. That's why he left Spec Spider-Man. So, womp womp.
I don't know why they're relaunching it. I mean, I know why, but
I mean, they got to get to volume 10 sometime.
Jesus Christ! Somehow fewer relaunch. Well, no, Captain Marvel still has more relaunches. I'm wrong, and Cap, and Iron Man, and Thor. I think. Jesus.
Yeah. So
there's a reason I only read maybe 2 Marvel books right now.
Yeah, I read like 2 Skybound books. Hell yeah, Transformers, baby.
Oh, that was good.
Oh yeah.
Enough.
So, yeah. So we'll talk about what we're going to do next week at the end of the show. All right, Adam, what are your thoughts on this particular issue, my friend?
It's solid. I don't really have much to say. Good art.
I'll say one thing. I said this before the show. This was the most linear issue of the book yet.
Actually, you're right about that, and I appreciate
that.
That's true.
The now came after the now came
after
the then. Yeah.
Well, and it was like
before the then.
That opening page was basically just like the recap.
Yeah,
it's a second recap page.
Yeah,
so that's one of my flaws of the issue. I'll get to the flaws of the issue. I want Adam to go through something though.
It's like we should have more recap pages like that instead of them doing
a wall of text.
Yeah,
it gave me 90s vibes, and I appreciated that.
Sure.
So what they should do. This is maybe a weird opinion. I think they should. I'm gonna move my hands so you guys can see me. What they should do is they should have the action going on. They should have had the action going on instead of like the regular recap page. You should have had the comic one, but with like text boxes alongside it instead of just then. Like,
you know what?
There should have been like a detailed like here's what happened with this character and this character and this character. Oh, this bitch got electrocuted. Now.
Questionable medicine aside, yeah, I mean, solid issue, I guess.
The CPR was right, though.
Yeah, the CPR was right. So.
Do you think Weisman wrote a note in there saying, "Oh yes, hey Emilio, remember that they need to move her out of the water before they V-fib her," and then he just forgot to draw that?
Probably.
I don't know. I do know that he was very specific about what he wanted for the CPR.
No, that's good. So
yeah, good action, good art.
I do feel like I don't want to say they're stretching out the arc, but
it does feel a little
like the amount of splash pages to me feels like they're trying to run the clock.
Awesome.
Like, I do wonder if this is a case of like next issue could have been part of this issue with some edit, but we're not there yet, so we'll see.
Like there's 3 or 4 splash pages where they could have just easily condensed them down into like just a panel on a different page. I don't know why some of them are splash pages. I just assume like it's running out the clock for the issue so they can kind of have more time in the second and third issues. I don't know.
That's a good point.
I just went through about 3 splash pages and they're all good.
I'm kind of counting the one at the end where it's like the next love is pain. I'm kind of counting that as like kind of a splash page because it's technically I got the 4 panels around it, but the main focal point is the big splash page of a fight scene. So you can discount it if you want. I'm kind of counting it as a splash page. But that one's not as offensive to me as like the 3 that could have just easily been like a panel. I don't know.
We do have 2 voicemails. If you look at the chat.
Are they both Walter?
And Walter's back. Yeah. So
I love how like it's turned from we've got a voicemail to we got a voicemail. Walter, you're the one who just said this is a family show.
For the audio listener, he says, "What were we doing with those hands before, Neil? Don't answer that. It's a family show." I love the fact that Zach has to work on these shows because of my voicemails. It makes me all sorts of happy. Speaking
Walter,
of,
you owe him a super chat. Then you do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's got to be a super chat.
yeah, send me a super chat. That'll be good.
So I did want to give.
Go on.
I did want to give some praise to the issue because it's not like I'm giving this like an F. There's like some good stuff in here. For one, there's it's other than the splash pages, which is what's really confusing to me. The issue is surprisingly dense. Like a good deal of momentum happens with the plot stuff, which is why it's so weird that the pages are splash pages. Why there are 3 splash pages out of how many pages are there of story? 20, I think.
20 pages, yeah.
So that's a little weird to me. I did like that Elementary has. Oh no! The new character experiences consequences for her actions. It's almost like this is a hero's journey arc, but like they could have easily just like hand waved it off as like, oh, you didn't know what you were doing. Like they could have kind of infantilized it, but like no, she got someone almost killed, and I appreciate that they're not like hand waving that away.
Well, again, this is a theme for most of his work. Greg in his work does not shy away from consequences ever.
Well, I guess I'm making this in comparison to ASM, where Peter is like in a weird contradictory sense responsible for everything that happens that goes wrong in his life, but also somewhat blameless. Which is why Wells's run has been so confusing to me, because Peter has been contradictorily responsible yet blameless for everything that's gone wrong in his life. And this feels more like, oh hey, this is like a character with an arc who, and I don't necessarily think I dislike Elementary.
Like one is a better writer than the other.
I don't know if you saw the solicits for June because they just came out, but JR back on ASM made my heart sink. It's like, oh, we're going from Pepe Larraz to fucking JR for the 6th time.
Yeah, but we knew this already.
We did, but like we got confirmation he's doing like a whole issue, like a whole arc now, and it's like, oh, here we go again.
I love JR, but I also believe he's long past his prime also.
I do like the name of the Electrodes instead of just Electros. That feels like an actual like group name and not just like a plural. It's like Moosin. What is it? No, it's Moosin's the plural for moose, right?
I think moose is moose.
Oh shit! No. I'm thinking of that one sketch, that one stand-up sketch from like.
We got a couple of comments.
Back.
One from Walter for me.
Did you see my message with the cosplay I found? Don't go back and look, Greg.
No, I don't feel like looking.
Okay, good.
Oh, one from Gamersly Ratchet.
This is a better version of Alf.
Who's Alf?
I don't know. I think Alf.
No,
it's the one from like
100. I 10,000% agree.
Okay, I'm not saying that it's not a better version. Like it's a well-written character. I'm saying that I think that Alpha and Elementary, I don't know, are necessarily the same archetype of character.
Craig, you don't remember the 50th anniversary storyline of Peter Parker mentoring a new young teenager that was the most annoying teenager of all time?
When was this?
Right before Superior?
Superior's like right before Dying Wish.
Confession. I skipped those issues.
Yeah, you should have, because they're awful. Alpha is ass.
Okay,
Alpha.
Greg, to make a point to you, I'm going to turn off the banner, by the way, because it's cutting off half my damn head. If I can figure out where it is, there it is. Okay, Greg, this retort
on StreamYard, and it's confusing the shit out of me.
So, okay, Greg, for reference, that's one of the few stories that Dan Slott is willing to throw under the bus and admit was bad. That and
Clone Conspiracy.
That and Mind on Fire are the 2 stories he's willing to like toss under the bus.
Yeah, oh god, I hated that issue.
Which one, Mind on Fire or Alpha?
Those two issues. I didn't hate it as bad the second time reading it, but when if you go back and you listen to those episodes of Crawl Space where I talked about it, my exact quote was, "We waited a year and 36 issues for Harry's resurrection explanation, and it was a year and 36 issues for this? Like, this is the reason?"
I remember that.
That was like for the Harry Liz divorce arc, right? That had Molten Man in it.
Yeah, it had Molten Man in it.
It like explained how Harry came back or something.
Which was just like Mysterio.
Well, I think that was Mysterioso. Like Mind on Fire explained to like Harry got revived by the Goblin formula or something.
Yes, yes.
Which is weird because like I think unfortunately Bendis saw that as a green light to do that in Ultimate Spider-Man, and that was how Norman and Peter came back.
Yep.
That was stupid. Anyways, like I said, I think Alpha was meant to be like a dipshit who eventually just fumbled his way into
save your money for this stupid shit. What the hell?
Or drop me a Venmo or something. I don't know. Toss a coin to your designer. Am I right, guys?
Someone's got to pay me around here.
I'm not costing.
Oh my god!
What?
Listen to what Adam said.
I have paid him, Adam.
Good.
But I think fundamentally Alpha and Elementary are two different characters as far as like their arcs, because Alpha was supposed to be like a C student dipshit who didn't know what he was doing and got in over his head.
Elementary's on a hero's journey.
Elementary's on a hero's journey who like is explicitly stated to have like genuine potential as a hero, but makes a massive mistake. Almost like she's a parallel to the character the book should be about.
Yeah.
What's Walter talking about? That's still better than 68 point death. Jesus Christ, you're really on about 68 point death.
68 point death literally pissed me off.
Is it because it was about Juggernaut and not Spider-Man?
It's not a Spider-Man book, even though it's
okay. But my Spider-Man. Hang on. We need to talk about this book. I'm just saying that Elementary is
not reading the other books and he's happier for it.
My point broadly is that Elementary is not the same character as Alpha. Yes. She is technically okay. Who made that comment? Better Gamer Sly Ratchet. That he is technically correct in that Elementary's arc is an improved one over Alpha's, but I don't think on a fundamental level they are the same arc, if that makes sense.
I've never read the Alpha issues. I can't.
Good.
And I'm not going to read them.
It was not Ramos's best art. Which is saying something, considering that Big Time was maybe one of his most rushed eras.
It's almost as if he was thrown into the last minute and he was probably having to work 19-hour days to get these pages in because somebody was being a little tardy on his stuff. Sorry.
Anyways, but what was I saying? Oh, I did like the Electros. I think that the Electrodes, I'm going to start using their group name now because that feels fun. They've got some genuine chemistry. I like the idea that like, they kind of come to the same conclusion as like the Hawkeyes or the Spider-Men themselves. It's like, we don't have to fight over the name. Now it works because these are villains and these are like egotistical, selfish dipshits who will squabble over anything for the pettiest of reasons. But I like that they kind of eventually came to the same conclusions as like the heroes who share names. Sure, if we can kill them together.
They're cute and they're creepy, sweet and sick.
I love how Francine has evolved from being like a groupie into just being like the most insane villain in Spider-Man's arse.
Maybe she's going to be the female protagonist in a Spider-Man 4.
Oh, Sadie Sink?
Not Sadie Sink. Maybe.
Oh, they're doing another one, right? They're doing like a female villain, right?
Allegedly. According to the internets.
I feel like in a not to pivot too hard, but I feel like Lady Octopus would be a better movement because they have like established the octopus stuff. If it gives
me Seaward Trainer and an Irish accent, or Scottish accent, I will be so happy.
But to say there's a very fundamental difference between Scottish and Irish. There was a whole conflict in the 80s about that.
Yes.
Well, not between the Scottish and the Irish, but between
the Protestants and the Catholics.
Yes. Anyway, maybe we should get on topic. I do want to say, and again, I'm not a parent, but I appreciated Kurt Connors throughout this entire issue. I mean, you messed with his family. I mean, I would like to think that any father would, or any mother for that matter, also would do whatever it took to rescue their child, including tearing off the arm of whoever was responsible for that with the giant lizard monster.
Also, it's narratively satisfying to see the man who lost his arm get to bite off someone else's.
Well, almost, but yeah, didn't
So
quite happen.
I do like that. One of my problems with Young Justice is that the villains are always just like, all according to plan. Just as even though we lost completely, we got out of it because it's always what we planned. Not
quite, but it is the whole Xanatos Gambit thing. But you can't do that with the Electrodes. You can do that,
and that's what I'm saying is that even in the Dr. Connor. That's what I'm saying is that Dr. Connors also isn't like a Keikaku master who like has every contingency plan.
I don't know what that means.
Keikaku means plan.
I don't care.
He's not like some super duper like I knew you were going to do that, so I have this trap card in my deck for you. He's not like Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh, who has like a.
I don't get that reference either.
Okay,
you're so younger than me. I don't get anything.
Trying to think of like a thing.
He's an old man. Just move the fuck on.
Okay, he's like if Xanatos didn't have like a contingency for everything not going his way. Mm-hmm. He like the minute he loses control, he's like, well, shit, I'm out of ideas.
Yeah.
Again,
I'm not saying that the dunk on Young Justice, like just to go out. It's a through line that was through Young Justice, and I'm glad that he didn't like use that with Doc Connors, because they easily could have just gone. Doc Connors goes, "Oh, I planned for the lizard to lose control."
Well, you see, Norman Osborn and Otto Octavius are not in this book, so if they were, you might see a little bit more of that. But
so,
wait, that's right. Norman Osborn's not even a bad guy right now.
Did Kurt eat his kid again? It would be really funny if, like, it was real the lizard ate him while he was off rail.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
No,
like, and lizard is, and Kurt doesn't even know. Like he went to go find the lizard, and the lizard already ate him.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to help me save the boy that you already ate. Could be like the Rob Zombie one from MTV.
Oh, there was something we could talk about next week about the giant-sized Spider-Man.
We'll get to that. Let's get back to this actual book. But no, I appreciated, again, Kurt Connors is a father in the way he treated the Electros with the lizard, even though the whole lizard Kurt Connors situation confuses me because I'm not reading those other books. And please don't tell me if I ask what this is. Let me. I
remember. I was on Twitter to the shock of my mental health. And someone said, "Boy, going on vacation from comics is insane because what do you mean? What do you mean, Dr. Doom's in charge of the world?"
Mm-hmm. No, that's why I'm reading mostly non-Marvel books these days, because they make me happier. But a couple of Marvel exceptions I will include in this book, and I like what JMS is doing right now with his one-shots, which are fun and weird. But anyway, the two Electros, I just love watching them work together to the point where I hope they as a team is an ongoing thing. I'm not sure if it's going to be. We'll see how this all wraps up, but I just make some sweet electrifying love already. Make sparks fly.
One thing that's not in the we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so my thoughts on this issue. I agree. I think the artwork. I think Emilio Lasso is starting to hit his stride. I'm not in love with his eyes on Spider-Man. That's like a personal pet peeve of mine. So,
if I had my choice of artists between the two that were kind of flip flopping between like the first three issues of the arc, I would have probably picked Andreas Genellet, or is it Andreas?
Yeah, Andreas. Yeah,
Andreas Genellet. Just because I think he's got a better, simpler art style that translates better towards a more simple book.
I actually appreciate how this artist was able to convey emotion quite a bit, especially Juliet's devastation, which didn't have really much dialogue going.
Speaking of Andres, Andre is doing next issue. It looks like.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's doing.
Okay. I get what I win.
So, okay, this is according to Marvel.com. Andres Genelette is doing the pencils. Bagley's doing the cover for the last 2 issues. So, and I say last 2 issues because looking at the June solicitations via Bleeding Cool, there is no 16. So,
wonder if it's gonna get relaunched or renumbered or something. I guess we'll find out.
yeah, we are in contact with Greg. So we'll find out more soon. We are going to probably have him on the show in a future episode to talk about it next couple months. So we'll be talking about this arc as well as the entire first year. So, all right. So let's talk.
Wait, I thought my show was the only one that was allowed to have him on the network. I'm kidding. No.
So, okay, let's talk grades.
Give it an A. We knew that
right.
I was going to do that. I think it's very solid. I think it's it's short. It's to the point. I mean, I'm one of those people who it's the most linear issue of the series so far, but I never had a problem with the non-linear stuff. I actually quite like it. I'm a huge fan of Quentin Tarantino, so I love that story structure. I mean, I understand it's not everyone's cup of tea, especially on this particular network, but it's my thing.
Yep. Adam, your grade?
B.
B for Adam. Neil, your grade?
Give it a B.
Hey, a B from Neil. I am going to give it a B plus. I was very. It's a good book. It's a solid book. If you're not reading it right now, go out and find it. You should be able to find it at your local comic shop. And
second trade just came out.
Trade number 2 just came out. Trade number 3 will be coming out soon. So we will find out more. Wait, did Greg say he won't cosplay? He promised he would. You know how hard I work on these things?
Again, toss a coin to your designer instead of just dumping hundreds of dollars into these like elaborate cosplays that we're scared to wear.
Can I take part in that interview? I am terrified to have you on for an interview there, Greg.
You almost said Neil and then you said Greg and then you didn't say the person who you were trying to talk to.
I could have ran down all 3 of you and said Adam. Oh. Oh God, Adam! He has cosplay ideas for Adam now. Oh God, no! Stop it!
You could be Adam. You could be the dad from Dexter's Lab.
That's funny.
My voice is from the Eyrie cosplay co-host. Often cosplays and does it quite well. But I have a feeling that if Walter tried to present one to her, she would kill him.
Yeah, no, she's scary. You don't mess with Jen. Jen will F you up.
Mm-hmm. I have the scars to prove it.
Yep, Greg does. And if I ever get mad at Greg, I'll just sick Jen on him.
It might work too.
All right, so okay,
Adam, hear me out. You can pull it off.
God, for those that are listening to us on audio, we have Neil pulling up the dad from Dexter's Lab. Oh my God. All right. Apparently I'm wearing extra blush. No, it's not extra blush. It's just the way the lighting is hitting my face. I have a lot of red in my face. Leave me alone, Walter.
Why is your face so red?
Because it just naturally
because Walter's here.
I bet if Greg
I am this close to opening up
who the hell this Walter person is that we're always talking about.
Oh. Well, if you watch the ASM episodes, because apparently he is now on.
If you listen to the show, there's a voicemail in almost all of them, so you know who it is.
Texas
Heat liked what I got her. Trust me.
Because you got her something that actually works for her, not just like here's Spider-Gwen, but a size too small.
Yeah. Anyway, Greg, if you happen to listen to this, I apologize. Number 1, and number 2, Walter is our own personal Heisenberg, and that's kind of not a joke.
He is the man who walks. Speaking of, we got our voicemail. He has 2, and I have clipped them together, and we're going to play them from the beginning. So,
you crossed me, Skylar.
Without further ado, here we go. Error opening up audio device. Well, that...
Every single time.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all.
All right.
That has to be the shortest intro ever, Zach. I'm proud of you. Now, if you could just do that for the intros for the TV shows.
I'm working on it.
Oh, Neil. There's your head pat. And hopefully very soon you'll get a very special delivery of Mr. Joyner.
Oh, God.
I am really looking forward to it. Have fun, guys. Oh, I'm in a miles-free zone. No miles is allowed in my house.
Oh, you're not going to like what's coming up for Ultimate Universe, though.
Are you going to read the one shot? You probably won't.
No miles is allowed in his house. You know, there's a very obvious joke I could make about someone else.
Jorge Fruit Band!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Friend of the show, Jess, says this is why you got to lay off the sauce.
I just realized there was a pause of under 3, right before you said under 3 minutes. That kind of made me giggle. Anyway.
Giant pause.
I was sitting here thinking that Neil here, buddy, pal, good-natured fellow, has long denied rocking that outfit I got him. And
I don't have it.
Joyner will be more than willing to drive the Jackpot mobile to...
The alliteration got you tongue-tied there, Walter.
Joyner will be more than willing to drive the Jackpot mobile to Neil to deliver said outfit. But if he chooses not to wear it, I think we should come up with a punishment. Because he said he would rock it.
Give me $20 or something. I don't know. That should be my punishment.
A punishment equal, I will come up with something. And I will pitch it on the next show. A Spidey-Dude.
The friend of the show, Jess. This is like listening to a serial killer. Accurate.
I'm a little drugged up. I went to the doctor today, so it's more than a speech.
Our own personal Heisenberg.
I'm just a little drugged up.
Okay, he probably went to go see his doctors today.
I don't think that. I don't think that. I don't think that's. Is the Joker going to kill a cop one day if Batman doesn't turn himself in? Holy shit, Jess! I'm a man of my word.
Do I make you bless, Zach? I like you, but I don't like you that way, Zach. You want to
Greg,
know
if you're listening, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, he can't fault us for going along with chat.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Greg. I'm going to clip that and put it in the beginning of the episode. Dear Greg, Greg and I say we're sorry. Sincerely, from Greg and Zach. Let's get this show on the road. Speaking of intros, he did talk about the intro, so we are going to do a new intro, I think, for season 5. I've already sent it to Neil. Neil, and I have not had anything to drink today, except
get some water.
I had some.
You
water.
have a drink right there.
No, like alcohol. I haven't had any booze today.
Oh, well, you meant like you hadn't had any water. I'm sorry.
Walter is on some good stuff.
I hope so.
If you went to the doctor today. and I know what it probably was in reference to. And hopefully you're doing better, buddy. Have cancer.
No, he's going to start cooking meth to pay for his medical treatments and become a drug kingpin along the way. And he's our personal Heisenberg. No,
especially with that fake ass beard that he wore last time he was on the show.
I didn't see that, but okay.
Oh, he was cosplaying as Zach in 30 Years, and he had a fake beard. He shaved his head, put Vaseline on it so it'd be extra shiny, and had a Scarlet Spider hoodie that he wore because, yeah.
I think Walter White wore one of those in an episode.
Jesus Christ. All right. Excuse me.
No, Walter's got a message in there for me.
Oh. Dear Greg, I don't regret anything.
Nor should you.
All right, so final thoughts as we get to the hour mark on the episode.
No, I really enjoyed it, and if you said there was no 16 solicitive, that's true. I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I've been enjoying this book. I mean,
look, we
I look forward to the next one.
It lasted longer than we had speculated when it first started.
If this is the end, we don't even know that yet.
If it's the end, yeah.
Marvel can be pulling shenanigans. We don't know. I mean, who the hell knows what Marvel does? I don't even think Marvel knows what they're doing these days.
They don't.
Especially over at the movie division.
So we will we'll talk about the casting of what's her name?
Sadie Sink.
Thank you. We'll talk about that next week. Or we want to do it on the Ultimate episode. We'll do it on the Ultimate episode.
Why the Ultimate episode?
Because more people. Well, yeah. Are you going to be there next week?
Yeah, okay. I'm always on the Ultimate show.
No, are we doing Ultimate next week or ASM?
I don't care.
I don't know. Which one should we do?
Let's do the one that we want to do. Let's do it. Let's do Ultimate.
Yeah, but this is the end of.
We don't know what we're doing either. It seems.
It is the end of. It is the end of.
What's more celebratory, the end of 8 Deaths or Parker Family Vacation?
Yeah. So End of 8 Deaths comes out next week, as well as Ultimate comes out next week as well. So I think we'll do Ultimate first week of April, making the executive decision now.
No, Zach, we have a fun thing that week.
You're
forgetting.
Are we not doing any episodes?
We'll think of it, but I'm thinking no, because if we're going to be streaming once a week for the whole month.
Well, we got to do our Spidey shows, though. Plus, we got a big relaunch coming in April.
Don't spoil for them.
Well, we know
this is a surprise.
Yeah, no, we haven't. Yeah, we have a surprise coming for the month of April. But I was saying, we'll talk about that after we get off air. But yeah. So, or we'll do 2 episodes next week.
Okay, so Dante's saying both. Biff.
Both.
Let's do ASM the following week after Ultimate. I need to work through my rage. Well,
no. We want to work through. We want to get the rage out as it happens because it's going to make more performance.
No, what you want to do is actualize the rage.
Yeah. We want to
use it productively.
We want to monetize the rage.
I don't.
And here I am sitting here looking forward to the upcoming Demona miniseries more than anything Marvel's got going.
Yeah. And Greg's been going around talking a lot about that. So
yes.
If you have not
the art
already,
looks fantastic. The art looks fantastic. They brought back Frank Parr, who was one of the co-producers of the series. Apparently, he pitched it, and on
the Discord server, you've been kind of gassing those up.
Mm-hmm.
So we will. So Voices from the Eyrie, kind of give an update on that there, Bishansky.
Oh yeah. We are currently on another hiatus. We were supposed to record a few weeks ago, but then what happened was that I had a power outage. We couldn't record. I had to text our guests and reschedule. They're gonna come back on. Then my co-host got sick, and then she had to fly off to see her daughter, and then she came back, and then Weisman's now on vacation, so he's going to come back in a couple weeks, and then we're going to record the next one in April. So it was an unplanned hiatus, but you know what? These things happen. But we're gonna keep going. We're gonna come back with an episode, Mark of the Panther, and we are. I don't want to say who the guest is going to be because you never know. It might fall through, but I don't think it's going to. It should be fun. It should be a fun conversation, and then we're almost through the world tour, and we're almost through the second season. The 52 episode second season.
Speaking of marks, Kane, the entire wave of Marvel Legends that we've talked about earlier this year is out in stores right now. It should be hitting your Walmarts and Targets. I saw it at Walmart and Target right now. So
I've got Kane.
Don't have Kane yet.
I have Kane and I've got Francine.
I do have Unlimited.
Yeah, I've got
them both. I didn't know you were a fake fan.
I've got them both on my shelf. I mean, I should pose Francine and Max the electrodes making out, but no, I've got Electro with the classics.
It sounds like a band name too. The Electrodes.
The two Electrodes and the Electrodes.
Yeah.
The Electrodes. I like it.
Adam's face sometimes, the deadpan of he's like, can we just finish the episode now?
Adam's
all right.
our quietest member.
Neil, any updates?
He's quiet with the most to say.
Yes.
What were you asking me?
Any updates on Books of X and other stuff we've got in the pipeline?
Oh yeah, it'll happen after taxes.
Okay.
That's all I got. Until taxes.
Until the tax return comes in.
I'm not getting a tax return. Hell are you talking about?
No.
I have a 1099.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Sorry.
And a W-2, but I work technically 4 jobs, kind of.
Yeah. You're the hardest working graphic designer I know.
Actually, I just did a little ditty for Javi, so
nice. All right, so Adam, you want to hype anything up?
Not really. I mean, I guess go watch the Ultimate Spider-Man year in review that we did for the Comic Binge.
Yeah, that was a good one. So if you want to get that episode inspired Walter to buy Ultimate.
Yeah.
So that had a positive input. All right, so next week sometime we'll be doing a couple of episodes. Stay tuned to the channel. So I will not talk about Voices from the Eyrie.
That's all Greg.
That's Greg already did that, and I won't talk about Make My Mayday. There is some Mayday news. We'll talk about that next week as well, concerning the 5th volume of her book being republished. We'll have another Dan Slott Symposium coming to you soon. We'll have another fine interview with Greg Weisman also coming to you very soon. I think we're also going to get about Juan Ferreira back on the show because of some stuff as well, to talk about Godzilla versus Spider-Man, actually.
That's really fun.
Yeah,
I will be reading that.
I got to get with Javi about ASM Classics. He's got some in the can, so I think he's just got to break down and edit them. Sabi Cinema Era Podcast is got the next 2 issues of the Maximum Carnage, issues 10 and 11 right now, out for your listening pleasure. Of course, you can go check out Spectacular Radio if you want to hear more Greg Weisman, Greg Bishansky, and myself, as well as on Clone Saga Chronicles. And of course, you can find us on the social medias. You can find us at Spideydude Radio on Twitter. You can find us at Blue Sky at Spideydude Network. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads at Spideydude Network, at Spideydude Radio Network. If you have not already subscribed to us on the YouTube channel and you're listening to this audio edition, you can go find us on the YouTubes where you can see us as well as listen to us live each and every. We do usually do these on Wednesdays, but right now we're doing it on Thursday. 818-925-6631. If you want to leave a voicemail just like Walter did earlier in the episode and not sound like a serial killer, you can do it as well. Leave us a voicemail and let us know and leave us feedback. Also, if you're listening to us on the audio edition, once again, leave us that 5-star review and leave a review, and we will read any and all feedback that you have for the show. You can also send me an email at SpideyDudeRadioNetwork@gmail.com, and that is all the ways you can contact us. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching us live, if you're watching us after the fact, thank you as well, and we will see you next time here on the Spidey Dude Radio Network's Spidey Dude Experience.